PFF is running one of their biggest sales ever. 40% off a PFF Plus subscription right now using the promo code BLACKFRIDAY. That means that you get everything fully unlocked. You get the grades, you get the stats, you get all the fantasy advice, the betting advice, which our new player prop tool is available on web as well to make you a smarter, better. You've got all of the draft analysis, the free agency analysis, all of that great stuff. Subscribe.pff.com to get 40% off a year-long PFF Plus subscription. Get it now. Seahawks and the Titans. Final score of this game was 30-24. The game, however, was not really close. Top 5 graded players that we had for the Seattle Seahawks: wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba, chasing history at this point. Over 1,300 receiving yards. He's got 6 games left to play. We got 6.
He has the Seahawks. He has the Seahawks single season receiving record.
Hey,
with 6 games to go. Just silly.
I'm going to get to more on that in a second.
And some of us drafted a defensive end over him.
Who's some of us?
The Jets.
Who'd they take?
Will McDonald.
Did they need a wide receiver?
We always need a wide receiver.
Right, but did they have Garrett Wilson at the time? I can't remember.
Yeah.
So
you never set with just one.
Okay.
Anyway,
but
go on.
Hey, Will McDonald's good, man. Edge rusher Derek Hall, the 91.1. Defensive tackle Leonard Williams, an 89.7. Running back Kenneth Walker with an 85.5. And then cornerback Devon Witherspoon with an 83.3. Sam Darnold in this game, a 60.3. On Tennessee side of things, cornerback Marcus Harris, an 89.0. Edge rusher Arden Key with a 74.6. Defensive tackle T'Vondre Sweat, 68.8. Defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons, a 68.0. And then running back Tajay Spears with a 66.4. Cam Ward in this game, a 78.7. Dalton, I want to say the stats told the story here, but the reason why I said that this game really wasn't as close as the final score indicated was at different points in this game, we had the Seahawks up 10-3, the Seahawks up 13-3, the Seahawks up 16-3, the Seahawks up 23-3, and then eventually it got to a point where they were up 30-10, so you were late into the third quarter. Obviously, the Titans scored 2 touchdowns. I don't mean to take anything away from them there to bring the score to a closer mark, but to me, this game wasn't very close. What was your stat that told the story for him?
No, I mean, it's the first 3 quarters, right? Cam Ward made some plays late in the game. Good to see his Miami teammate Xavier Restrepo out there, too, making a couple of catches. But at the end of the day, this Seattle team, especially early in games, they're just a wagon. The first 3 quarters of this game, they had 9.5 yards per play. That's kind of ridiculous when you think about it. 82.2 offensive grade. And look, watching this, it was even moments where, look, Kenneth Walker was getting some solid runs and the Titans were competing. And then it just feels like, and the most impressive, I mean, Jackson Smith-Njigba, just a ridiculous series. He's got a shot at 2,000, Trevor. This is what we're talking about all of a sudden with the pace that he's on and the amount that he carries for this. It feels like Clint Kubiak right now. You know that meme where there's like the button slam, right? And you just like whatever you need to solve your problem. That's just any time in this just Jackson Smith-Njigba. And that's just any way he wants to. And that's what it felt like in this game. 90.9 receiving grade. 8 catches, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, and it feels casual. I mean, this is just the run that he's on. 12 games in. Sorry, I think 11 games in. He's already got the Seahawks single-season receiving record. That's silly.
It is indeed.
And you're talking about we're on real. We're going to talk about the other one in a bit here. We're on a real watch for the receiving record going down and the sack record going down in the same year.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
When you look at his usage, my most impressive is Jackson Smith-Njigba, but then also Clint Kubiak, because there were some frustrations last year about just the overall usage with Jackson Smith-Njigba, and it felt like the offense wasn't exactly making the most out of his talents. So he has 25 targets of 20 or more yards this season. He had 22 all of last year, right? So he has 6 games left, and he already has more deep targets of 20 or more yards than he did all of last season. He has 0 games this year with no targets of 20 or more yards. So he has at least 1 in every single game. He had 6 all last year where he didn't have a single target deep. 2 games this year where he has less than 2 deep targets. He had 13 games last year where he had less than 2 deep targets. So the usage is just completely different. I think that they looked at Jackson Smith-Njigba last year and they said, hey, he's not the biggest dude in the world. He's not the fastest vertical threat guy. He's fast, but he's not the fastest vertical stretching guy. We're going to use Jackson Smith-Njigba as this underneath, yards after catch type of a wide receiver. And that's what it was last year for the Seattle Seahawks. This year, Clint Kubiak's like, nope, he's just good. Why don't we let him do the thing that gets us the most points, which is he runs that way, we throw him the ball pretty far. And that's, I mean, I'm obviously very much oversimplifying it, but they are leaning into this player as their deep target guy, and that's never been what Jackson Smith-Njigba was. I mean, like, that's not how he was talked about when he was at Ohio State. He had some big plays, but again, he was always seen as this underneath type of receiver. And Clint Kubiak got there, and he's like, nope, we're going to do something totally different, and I'm going to throw you the ball deep until you show me that you can't do it, and he has yet to do that. So what I love the most about, this is going to sound weird, what I love the most about what's going on with Jackson Smith-Njigba and Clint Kubiak right now is that they're not even using Rashid Shaheed yet. They don't have to. Rashid got 2 targets in this game for 0 catches. Like, they don't need him. Jackson Smith-Njigba is their deep target guy. But what I love about the move to go get Shaheed is that the Seahawks made this move as a sign of they don't know what they don't know yet. And they're trying to be ahead of the curve. They're like, look, nobody's been able to stop JSN yet this season. But we know, because we respect defensive coordinators enough around the NFL to know that somebody might do it. Somebody's probably, when we get into the end of the season, and specifically when we get into the playoffs, somebody's going to have a game plan where they devote everything to shutting this guy down. And he said, when that happens, Rashid Shaheed's going to be on the other side of the field. And we're going to demand you to cover him one-on-one with a corner. No safety help, nothing. And we're going to throw that guy the ball because he was fantastic at it when Clint Kubiak had him in New Orleans, and that's exactly what he's been good at. So that is what I love the most about JSN's success right now, and pairing that with what they did, during the trade deadline, is you have a spot where you're almost getting ahead of problems that don't exist yet because you respect the league so much that you know that they're eventually coming. So that's I love this whole situation that the Seahawks have right now because it's absolutely clicking on all cylinders. But you're not even leaving it to chance. There was 6 weeks left to go and then a run with the playoffs coming up that you won't be ready if somebody figures out a good strategy to contain this guy.
And it's hard to defend because they have multiple tight ends on the field so often with Barner and Arroyo, right? They're always in 12 personnel. Not always, but they're in 12 personnel a lot more than a lot of other teams, and that makes it hard to match up. How do you match the personnel? Do you match the personnel? How do you go about it? And then, like you mentioned, there's so many guys you have to respect. The 2 running backs, the 2 tight ends, Rashid Shaheed, Torrey Horton, when he's healthy, is a blazer, obviously. Cooper Kupp still can win underneath, so it's a lot of threats. It's not a situation. The difference between him and, say, a Garrett Wilson with the Jets is Garrett Wilson's the only guy that you respect out there right now. With Seattle, there's a lot more guys, big play guys, like you mentioned with Shaheed and then Torrey Horton when he's healthy, that can beat you downfield. Do you want the most fun Smith-Njigba stat right now? Okay. All right, so Drake London is 3rd in the league with 2.66 yards per route run. All right, really good number, right? Love that. Puka Nacua, the yards per route run king, is 2nd with 3.42, which is unreal. That's a sick number.
That's a lot.
When you're over 3, and that's significantly over 3, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith-Njigba is a full yard above Puka Nacua, 4.42. Which I'm just assuming is I'm not even going to look at it. I'm just going to assume that
has to be a record.
It's got to be a record. 4.42 yards per route run. A full yard ahead of Puka Nacua when it comes to efficiency there. That's one of the most ridiculous numbers I've ever seen.
That's crazy. I've never seen a 4.
No. I've seen it in college, not NFL. NFL doesn't happen. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. That's a level of – because it's not just, he's the target monster. Like, he's 2nd in the league in targets, tied with Chris Olave behind Jamar Chase. It's not like, we've seen other years where guys are getting, they get 200 targets, so they put up these crazy numbers. Mm-hmm. He is by far the most efficient receiver in football. Mm-hmm. It's just insane what he's doing this year.
It's him and the offense in general. They scored on their first 5 possessions of the game in the first half.
That'll do.
They scored on all of them. And they scored on 6 of their first 7 possessions going into the second half. I mean, they're just a juggernaut right now. No one can stop them at the beginning of the games. They have great game plans. They have great execution. They're awesome. My most disappointing is the Titans' run game. Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears, 1.8 and 1.3 yards per carry averages. Now, it's not all on those guys, but that's sort of a stat that you can look at that's a reflection of also the offensive line. The offensive line is not good enough. They don't have the playmakers in the backfield. Cam Ward was fine in this game from what I saw. Obviously, the passing grade and the overall grade were fine in this one, but he's behind the eight ball when it comes to the rest of the talent that they have on that team. No Calvin Ridley with the wide receivers. Gunnar Helm is young. Elkai Manor is young. Shimray Dike is young. Xavier Restrepo is young. Like it's just a bunch of rookies out there trying to make something happen in the NFL. And the Titans are playing a little bit of the what if the college all-stars or like what if you put college players in the NFL? I mean, they basically just got rookies galore that Cam Ward is throwing the ball to, and we're seeing that it's obviously tough to make plays in the NFL when you just have a bunch of young guys.
How about DK with another return touchdown though? How about it? Is he I was looking at this now. Is he the highest graded?
Is he the greatest skater ever? Yeah, it might be.
Oh, he's up there. Second punt return for a touchdown. I was looking at it. If he's the highest graded. He's the second highest graded returner in football this year. Ray Davis is ahead of him, but he's got a lot less returns. I could call DK the best punt returner in football right now. Sure.
All right.
I don't mind it.
Cool with that. Anything else?
It's something. You got to find positives in Tennessee.
Anything else from this game?
Nope.